to really integrate it. So anyway, so that's why I'm here this morning. So that's took time, but I'm here, so it's good. Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. So, anyway, every time we become smarter than before. I mean, we should become smarter than before. So, next time it would be much faster, huh? But
Yeah.
it's not about the injury or something, but it is
So anyway,
about
so that's why I'm here this morning. So that's took time, but I'm here, so it's good. Thank you.
wait. Yeah, wonderful. So, anyway, every time we become what is that? Yes. All right. So the thing is that when we go through the hardship in life, that is the time we have to remember most about our serene space and what vision we have in life about ourselves or what we strive for. But usually it happens opposite. So you remember your vision of life or what you strive for, what you aim for, what drives you in more comfort situations. But actually these things are required more in the pushy situations so that they give us the required strength when we need it. Because when we are in not pushy situation, when we are in our comfort situation, the mind is amazing. We don't that time uh, we don't that time we actually push others because we are in our comfort zone. Okay, so we we try to show all our rooting wisdom, serenity, vision to others. That you see, this is how life should be. But when we get into the pushy situations ourselves, that time we tend to forget that this is how mind works, because mind wants to tell you in that time, in that very time, that you were a fool, you were a stupid, that you were trying to live consciously. See, it doesn't work. You are again back to your pushy situation. You are again back to your uncomfortable zone or your injury or your insecurity or your setbacks. So this time, let me take the lead and let me react, and you just follow me. And mind gets the opportunity to push your consciousness back if you don't remember. Because that is the time that you are vulnerable and you just need a savior. And mind tells you, hey, I am the savior. Who else? I can save you. So now shut up. Forget all this bullshit drama of that, you are a very serene person, or you have this vision, or you are very stable. Just let me take care of you. You need recovery? Let me take care of you. And then it feels comfortable to cry, or to feel angry, or to feel irritated, or to complain. It somehow feels comfortable, it somehow feels known, because mind also projects the memories as validation of what it is doing is right, without really letting you realize that it never worked before. Also, it will not gonna work this time as well, but then it gives you memories for validation that yeah, you know this. And this is very, very fine. I mean, you got to be very, very, very sharp and aware to realize, to look through this, because mind will project itself as a savior to you all the time. And when you are stable rooted, you tell the mind, hey, I don't need a savior, I don't need to be saved, I am living amazing life, or I am living a life of a sharing, and I am saved already. By being awake, by being conscious, I am saved. Why you are telling me that, hey, you need to save me? No, I don't need you as a savior. I just need you maybe as an executor of my plans or my vision or my direction, but not as a savior. But the moment we are in a pressure situation or a vulnerable situation, mind again gets the opportunity to tell you, hey, I am the savior and you got to listen to me. And that time, we somewhere subconsciously give up. We say, yes, you are my savior. And we don't say that, hey, you are just an executor of my vision and my plan, even in this situation. We just give up, we just say, oh, you are my savior. So mind becomes the master, and it pushes the consciousness back. And then it takes some time for us to realize and come back. But then the struggle starts for regaining the leader's role. Who will be the leader now? The mind or the consciousness? So even if inside you would know that, no, this is not the perfect way I would like it to happen based on my consciousness or based on my understanding, my growth, my maturity of all these years. But by that time, mind has already overtaken the government inside. The ego has already taken over the government. And now it's a power struggle. So then you have to do your mini inner spiritual journey. And this is amazing. So everybody has to do so many many inner spiritual journeys in many situations in life, and this is constant. You got to keep doing it. It's not that you have done your spiritual journey only when you come to me to this training, or when you went to some pilgrimage or did some focused real spiritual stuff. No, 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 no. That's not your real spiritual journey. Your real spiritual journey is actually the combination of many, many, many such mini inner spiritual journeys and the collective outcome of that. And that is your real spiritual journey. That is your real spiritual growth. And in a way, all these situations come in our life to actually make us do those mini spiritual journeys, mini inner growth journeys. I mean, no matter what happens in your life, but this opportunity, this result is always there. And if we could take it that time, like this, that this is another opportunity for me to do my mini inner spiritual journey. It can be for 1 hour, maybe for 1 minute, maybe for 1 hour, maybe for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, whatever it is. But the moment you align yourself that I am on this, your consciousness remains in the power. Your consciousness can keep the mind just as a executor. Yeah? So these are the things to remember. And all is well when you start to love yourself back amazingly. That is the only yardstick I would say. All is well in your life when you start to love yourself amazingly. Oh my God, I'm in love with myself. It's so cool. Yes, that's when everything is well in your life. So, what you need to aim for is how can you fall in love with yourself amazingly? Not as a narcissist, but with a reason behind it. You know? Not just, oh, I'm so awesome. Yeah, you are awesome. Great, of course. Everybody knows it. But why? Do you know it? Oh, I think because of this. All right, great. You think about this. I trust you. Amazing. Let's validate this thinking. So the whole process. So you need to know. You don't need to give yourself illusion that I'm so awesome. That's why I should love myself. You should validate. You should really know the reason. You should validate the reason. You should feel awesome. And then your love for yourself is not forced love. It is the organic love. It is amazing. It's that you feel so proud of yourself. And then you know that, yes, it's all good. So even if at that time, lot many things in your life are not working still, but if you are in love with yourself, this means everything is existentially good in your life. Even if you don't have a job, even if you don't know what will happen tomorrow. But at this moment, if you can love yourself truly, with a reason, which you have already validated that this reason is real, man, everything is right in your life. That's what is existential wellness, right? And existential wellness is the biggest wellness. If we don't achieve that, what any other wellness we talk about? There is no other health worth caring as much as this much. Every other health comes after this, or basically every other health collectively creates this. But this wellness, I call it existential wellness, is so amazing, so awesome, because this is what keeps you connected with your own self and with the existence, with the universe at large. And then it is all the time consciousness at the play in a very organic, very smooth, very playful manner. You know, you've got love, you have got joy, you're doing what you need to do, you're also hustling. Hustles will not end from the life. You're also hustling. You will still have some aspects of life which are not working, but that will never ever harm your existential wellness if you create it. And that is the power. So aim for that. Create your existential wellness and keep it intact all the time. And then you will see that through that space of your own inner well-being, when you deal with situations, when you deal with the pushy situations, the hard situations, the recovery needs, or the things which are not working, or the struggles life is giving you, you will never feel that this is a struggle. You will feel that, yeah, it's a hustle. And I'm gonna flow through it. I'm not gonna struggle with it. I'm gonna flow through it. Because when you are existentially well from inside, you always say that, yeah, these things are here. Practically in this world of matrix, it's not working, but these things are working. But beyond all this, I am free. Beyond all this, I am well. I am in love with myself. I am amazing. And I have a reason for that. And these reasons are true, validated. And I am existentially well. And I'm going to flow through anything comes in my life. Then what can shake you ever? Yeah? Make sense or not?
For me,
Anybody?
yes.
Yes. So good. Thank you. You have given an opportunity to talk about all this in much detail. Yeah. Okay. So anybody wants to say anything or ask anything on this? Let me check who all are here.
I do have a question kind of related to this, Deb.
Hello, Joseph and Andrea. How are you guys?
We're doing great. Um,
Good.
yeah, it's interesting that we start with this topic of the mind. I mean, I guess one of the biggest struggle I've had, I've been having many experiences that have helped me create separation between the I or myself and the mind. And I realized how psychotic the mind actually is. And it has become to the point where I feel like I don't understand the purpose of mind. I think you kind of touched on it to say we can use it as an executioner of our ideas. But I guess it makes me wonder, like, can you execute from a point of awareness and yeah, pure awareness? You know what I mean? Like, I
Yes, I
understand.
mean, and it is, I know what you are talking about, and it is very simple. Actually, that's the only way. It is an executioner. or executor for your plans and ideas or vision, but it is actually an executioner automatically, whether you have a vision or not, whether you have a clear plan or not. So you have a clarity or you have a confusion, it is going to execute both. You have a vision, you don't have a vision, you just have random thoughts, it is going to execute both. You are driven by your consciousness or you are driven by your ego, it is going to execute both. Right. Now the problem is that as we hear stories of our ancestors or previous times or whatever, though I don't believe everything is true with the history stories, but what I truly believe is with less technological development, human mind or human life was much simpler because the area of impact of an individual was very limited. So the person would go out of a home and could speak with maybe 2 people, 5 people, 10 people, but cannot really go to internet and create a viral reel which can actually spread hatred or some bad message to millions of people worldwide or some fear, because there is no internet. So the impact is limited. So when impact is limited, the ego impact of the self is also limited, because what is actually boosting the ego nowadays, that how much impact can you create, the reachability of impact you can create, whether you create it or not, but you think that you can create also. Now that's another thing. So what happens that anybody, for example, some influencer or somebody, some random guy, some random person who creates some random kind of content, a piece of very stupid thing which has no value whatsoever in anybody's of life, or probably which gives a wrong or bad message or a bad energy, but that reachability of that content can reach to many, like millions of people. The person behind that content, look at the energy the ego of that person is getting by that piece of shit he's creating. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So it has become very complicated. And the problem is that in this world of faster communication and interconnectivity with huge reachability, still the reachability of the real value content is very less. And all the stupid content is very quick and very more. So the kind of energy the ego gets becomes so complicated for that person to handle, that the consciousness cannot stand to fight the ego until unless the person is really a clear, dedicated seeker. This is very strange which is happening, and I'm talking about this metaphor or this example actually because 2 days ago I was talking to somebody who was going through this stupid thing and has decided, I mean, a guy who is a very big influencer, a travel influencer, and he said that now I realize that I have not been creating any value. I was just chasing some illusion in my life, and that has made me go away from my own truth. I said, good that you started recognizing this, because this is the beginning of your coming back home. Now apply this in your own energy system. The mind is an executioner of all kind of energy in our life. Why I gave the topic of today is that creating a new vision in 2026, basically creating a new vision. It doesn't matter 2026 or any day, but becoming free from the traps of mind. So I am trying to explain you how the mind function. It's an executioner. It is going to work on the basis of what kind of energy is working in your body that time as a prominent energy. If the energy of ego is working prominently, mind is going to execute those things which can enhance that. And this is usually happen. This is what usually happens. What happens that the way our mind is trained, and there are, because mind works with the memory has different boxes or vaults, and there are keys to open those vaults, and those keys are the trigger points. This is how mind function. So the moment mind gets that trigger point can be one word, one sentence, one scene, one situation, and you get triggered. And the moment you get triggered, even the situation outside is not that strong, your mind open that memory vault and start using all the memory to react to that situation, even if that situation is small and the reaction is big. Why that happens? Because that trigger becomes the key to open that vault for the mind to get all the memories as an input to react in the outside. And that is why, as I started talking with Caroline, I asked her to actually contemplate on this and realize that because I know that she has been gone through bigger things in her life, and she has been more resilient and strong on that, and this time she was not that. What changed? Because some trigger, when the memory is not there, when you are facing a situation for the first time, normally you go through it, you are more resilient. But when it also becomes part of your memory, and during that time when you were going through it first time, you start to also feel lots of emotional burst or emotional shortcomings. It can be irritation, anger, not liking it, hating yourself, self sabotage, victim feeling, blah blah blah. All that thing also hides behind that trigger or that memory and gets stored in the memory vault. And what happens that the moment that trigger opens that vault, mind gets all these emotional disturbing energies out in the front conscious functional mind, and it starts to react like that for that situation, making more memories, more reactive memories, and then starts to get strong. That is why normal people, as they age, they start to grow more and more negative, more and more self-centric, less trusting to people, less easy to share. That happens. Why this happens? Because this memory vault keep filling up with each experience, because nobody goes through these experiences in a conscious human manner or aware human manner. If the moment you go to all the reactions with a normal reactive mode, this memory vault keep getting filled with more harsh memories, and they are not going to help it. Now the thing is that what is the way to deal with this? As that, as we also learned during the training, especially when we spoke so many things in 200 hours, and now especially when you are redoing yourself and going through these amazing experiences, you would realize that when you chose to be on the path of consciousness or conscious living, you start to deal with, or you start to look at everything from the space of consciousness, stopping the mind to go back to that memory vault and look for the answer from the conscious vault, that what should I do? And that is the only way. But the danger is that that memory vault is still there. The ego is keeping it open, and ego is trying to look for the opportunity to tell the mind that now come back here, leave consciousness. So this fight is always there. The inner devil and inner good God, they are always there. That's what you spoke also in your message when you asked this question about that the world is full of duality. Yes, The manifested world is full of duality. So when you talk about that the world is full of duality, why monks or spiritual people focus on so much non-duality, I tell you why. Because manifested world is full of duality. It is made of duality. It is 0 and 1. If there would be no 0 and 1, it is binary. It's not duality, it is binary. So we call it duality because it is separate. Something is one, another one is one. But the entire manifested world is created by binary system. And binary has only two things, two opposite energies. Binary is 0 and 1. Those who are engineers, who have done computer science or anything else, is basic physics rules also. Binary is only two opposite energy. Also like in yin and yang circle, black and white. Two equal opposite force. Do you think that if you increase, or if in the world the force which is supposedly called evil force, is people are paying more attention to the evil force, is it going to lower down the divine force or the light? Never. If you increase one thing in equal proportion, other thing automatically starts to improve.
But I think that's the thing. I think I could be wrong, but I think divine includes both, because divine
Now,
created mind.
yes, so now I come to that. So in the world of duality or manifested world, which is made of binary, when we talk about the energy, the pure consciousness, or we call it divine for reference or anything, that is beyond this. And that is why when in my 100-hour training for the first time, when I spoke about you guys that there is nothing good or bad, you were the first who were like, how can that happen? You, Divya, many other people, you were fighting with me. But that is good, because that is the nature, because that only shows you how your mind is trained. But slowly you understood that actually it is all energy. So we cannot define everything with this is dark, this is light, this is bad, this is good. No, it is how the energy flow of that time in that situation is going through. Creates a purpose of that manifestation. And if purpose is achieved, you get some result. If purpose is not achieved, actually some purpose is always achieved. You get another result for that, and which creates your flow further. But the moment our mind is stuck in good or bad, you are already supporting the evil inside you by just being judgmental about everything, about yourself and about others. And now you already understand, after going through such amazing spiritual awakening experiences, that if you live a life of full of judgments, it's never going to help anybody. Not even to yourself, not even to anybody. Because the problem with the mind of judgment is two things major. One, it lacks harmony. Second, it's not honest. When the situation comes, it wants to save itself, but still want to point at others. It never points at itself. It points at itself only when it is alone, when it is in safe zone. But it doesn't point at itself when it is out there in the open. So, when we grow spiritually, when we live a conscious life, when we understand this is all the part of matrix, the play, the illusion, the great illusion portrayed in front of us to just keep our mind busy, entangled, so that mind feel comfortable when mind is struggling, when mind is crying, when mind is complaining. It feels comfortable because that is known. Ego tells it, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, there is a problem. That person is responsible for this problem. That situation is responsible for this problem. You can cry. You can react. You can just struggle for survival. without really realizing that time that beyond this, behind all this, I am free. Nothing is happening. It is like, let me give you an example. There is a projector and there is a screen. When we need to watch a movie, what we do? We put a projector, we put a screen. Why? Because we want to watch a movie and we are watching a movie. Now tell me that is projector and the screen, they are two separate things. Yes, in manifested world, they are separate things. You can say they are separate things. But are they really separate things? No. They are just part of one system to show the movie. Projector needs a screen. It can be wall, it can be screen, anything, but something where it can be projected. So projector needs a screen and screen needs a projector. So if we are the screen to project the manifested world in our life, are we separate from the projector? The pure consciousness, the universe, the divine, take it as a projector. So universe is the projector and we are the screens. Are we separate? Do we have separate identity if we just say, oh, I'm just a screen. All right, so be it. What do I do? What do you do? No screen has any value or any meaningfulness in the life until unless something is projected upon it. Or you use it as a backdrop to click your own selfie or whatever. No screen has no value till the time something is projected on it. Right? And the projector, the universe, has also no value, even if it keeps trying to project something until unless there is a screen. So we are one. The screen and the projector is one. Now, the problem happens, the great illusion happens. Projector is projecting, screen is, on the screen it is being projected, and then there is a movie. And then the screen starts to get emotionally attached with the movie. It's such a romantic movie, I love it. Or such a violent movie, I hate it. And then screen tries to feel the burden of all the emotions being projected on the screen. What happened with this? What would happen with the screen? If screen would just try to attach with all the emotions, to feel all the emotions, to feel through all the situations, all the scenes, it is projecting, it is getting projected on the screen will go mad. That's what we do with ourselves. The screen never burns with the fire scene on the screen, right? On the movie. The screen never burns. When the movie is over, the screen is as it is. So when you are watching a movie, sometimes you cannot even realize there is a blank screen behind it. You just watch the movie. You just watch the scenes. Until unless movie is finished and you realize, there was a simple white screen behind it. Similarly, when you forget about yourself that I am just a screen, part of this beautiful system, one with this projector, and all these situations of life are being projected on me and I have to go through them, but I am not that. I am not affected by that. Even if there is a fire scene going on, even if there is a love scene going on, everything is going to finish. And I will be again the same. A pure, unattached, free from everything being consciousness. And that only is part of the projector, the blank screen. Okay. So when your consciousness realizes that, you automatically feel an absolute oneness with the whole. and you don't remain too dual. But when you just look at the movie and forget the screen behind it, you live in emotional ups and downs where there are different characters and there is an idea and ideology of good and bad, and that creates all the duality illusion. So, when you know, I took this topic in between to make you understand that this is all covered in this. Now, when you come back to this canvas, the screen, you realize now in my screen, it has now got a kind of smart board, smart screen. I have got some inbuilt movies inside me. Right. Now, these inbuilt movies give me different kind of emotions in different kind of situations. But if you forget that you are a blank screen, you are a pure consciousness, you are free from this, you start to get affected by that. So now, what happens in the manifested world in this life, we have, as we understood, different level of energy centers in our body. All the energy centers or chakras or needs of survival. We can call it chakras, we can call it energy centers, we can call them needs of survival of human life. When they are struggling on anything, the ego is playing and mind is motivated by ego. When they are not struggling, when they are expanding, then consciousness is in control and mind is functioning through consciousness. For example, and also it depends where your more energy of life is focused. As I explained you guys in the class, that when you grow spiritually, you are focused more on higher chakras. But when you are not spiritually aligned, you only remain focused on the functionalities of the lower chakras, only dealing and struggling in the world. Now, let us start even from a very base chakra, the root chakra, very simple, first thing. It governs two things. The functionality of this is, I already have explained everything in the class, but I'm just reminding you guys again. If it is governing two things, the first thing it governs is survival. If you are always in comparison or complex with somebody and you are in your survival mode, or you think that you need to survive through this also, through that also, to do this also, what you will be doing, you will always be aggressive, or you will always be feeling victim, or you will always be feeling attacked for no reason, and you would always be feeling a need for a savior because you feel a need to survive. But mostly because of the mind complexes, we need a feel of survival. Otherwise, there is no need for survival instinct because we are survived. But the mind is trained in such a manner that any up and down happens in life. The mind is trained 90% to go on a survival mode. Now, your job is not there, or even if you have decided to leave the job to take a break for 1 year, mind will still go to the survival mode because it will give you the signal of, oh, you got to survive, you got to survive, you got to survive, even if it is your choice. So actually you don't need survival. Why you decide to leave the job for 1 year or take a break? Not because of the survival mindset. Over here, the same, I am on the same level on root chakra. Other thing it governs is growth. So you took it for growth. So what mindset should be activated for your entire 1 year without any failure is the growth mindset, or is the growth instinct, or is the growth mind. It should not go to the survival mindset, because then you will be free to grow, to shine, to expand, to experiment, to fail, to fall, to rise up again, to take the jump, to take the leap, because that is what you needed. That is what you decided for. That is why you took the break. But the mind, the moment you left the job for 1 year, from the same very moment, the mind is giving you these survival fears. Because mind is trained in that. Mind is not trained in growth. Mind is trained for survival. On root chakra level, when we come little up on sacral, the mind is trained for judgments, for making right and wrong, for thinking you are right, other is wrong. Not trained for I am right, you are right. So mind is going to give you that. If you come more higher, then mind is trained to say that, oh, I know, you don't know nothing. Don't try to teach me. Okay, mind is not trained to digest all the life situation. Mind is trained to just make a circus out of everything. Yeah, you go much higher on a heart level. Mind is not trained to just be free flowing of love and light, of sharer. Mind is not trained to be compassionate authentically. Mind is not trained to be a true receiver or a true channel. Mind is trained to acquire. Right? If you go much higher, mind is not trained to give the free expressions or to have a clear communication. Mind is trained to keep things to yourself and expect from other to understand your silence. What the fuck? Can anybody do that in life? But we do that. That you understand what I want to say. Hello, just say. No, if you cannot understand, that means you are not even worthy of being around me. Yes, nobody is ever worthy of being around anybody if we have these kind of norms. But mind wants to put this because mind wants to loot it. Then on much higher level, mind does not want to trust the bigger purpose. Mind is trained to just create its own space of kingdom, even small, even big. Mind is not trained to trust the higher purpose, trust the higher system, trust the higher flow. So mind remains very self-centric and very just try to create its own kingdom on physical manner, on emotional manner, on about things, about situations, about attachments. Everything is your small kingdom, which is so stupid. Because then this kingdom is not made through your expansion or grace or love or free flowing. This kingdom is made through your acquiring, through your attachments, through your insecurities, through your complexes, and then you try to hold it tight all the time. And when you do that, what will happen? Boom! One day the blast happens. And that is how normal people live. And that is why most of the world face the mental health situations. In the conscious life, how you teach, how you train mind or how you use the mind is the other higher healer aspects of those energy centers. So you learn all the killers, you learn all the healers. When ego or complex or subconscious or unconscious mind or sleepy mindset is functioning, then your mind will be executing all the killers on all the levels. But when you will live the healing, the pure consciousness, the mind will execute all the healers on all the levels. Right? And that is also, and in that process, when it live all the healers, what will happen? Mind anyway live with its habits, so mind will keep creating memories and putting it those vault. But now this time it would be healing or positive memories. And it will also create the same trigger for that, but this time in that vault, positive things will come out. And that is the process of transformation. So living your pure non-duality, your pure consciousness, your connection with the divine or the big system into this projected world of binary manifestation. Yeah? And this way you can keep the mind in line with your purpose and your consciousness, and not let mind create and project those psychotic things or those insecurities or those urgencies, because most of the time we really don't have those urgency in life. But why mind wants to create urgency all the time? Because it does not want to give you time to think, to be wise. It wants you to react immediately. And if it gives you time, probably you can choose to live through your consciousness, you can choose to respond. But mind creates urgency. You can say, hey, actually there is no urgent. I can maybe take 2 minutes. I can maybe take 5 minutes. It's not that urgent. I'm not on fire right now. Let me take 5 minutes. Let me think over it. Let me be wise, and then I will respond. This is that gap which we practiced, putting it in between, so that mind cannot overpower you, because it is coming from its past training, and now we as a conscious human need to change this training for ourselves. Yep.
So just the last question as a follow-up. So you're saying that in the divine field, there's non-duality?
Divine field is it, and everything is in it.
So there is duality.
In it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for example, if there is a ball is, there was one. Anyway, if there's a ball and that ball has, so it is one. Now, if you open the ball, you may find something inside. Then you can say, oh, there were two things inside, the ball itself and something which is inside. But in that, or maybe there's a ball, you see the ball, oh, there's one ball. But when you cut the ball, there comes another smaller ball inside. So you say, oh, I never knew there was another ball inside. So there are two balls actually. One ball, but from when the ball is complete in itself, it is just one ball. And then when you go down, you cut that ball also, and you say, oh, there's another ball inside it. It is that. It's not separate, it is in it. So something inside that ball, if some ant goes in from a small hole or cut, then that ant would be able to see, oh, there is a ball, another inside, and there is another ball where I am in. And that is what happens. A very beautiful metaphor, that one fish, a young fish, was very anxious, and she was like swimming here and there, and then she met one senior mature fish, and that what's problem with you? What's the problem with you? Why you are so anxious? And she said, you see, everybody talk about the sea, and I'm looking for the sea, and I'm not finding it. Where is it? And everybody's talked so much about it. So the senior fish said, you are in the sea. So fish said, no, you're stupid. You don't know. You think I'm a kid? You cannot just make me a fool. I am looking for a sea. You know, sea is magnificent. It has these waves. It does this, that. I've listened so much about it. I want to see that. Now, what can you say to this kid fish? How can you explain sea to that? You are in the sea. You are in it. To order to see that definition of sea, which basically we have created in our mind, she has to go out of the sea to see that. But the moment she goes out of the sea, she will no longer be there to see the sea, because she will die. So you are in it, and that is what is oneness. But inside you see many fishes. You see the duality, because it's the manifested world. But you cannot go out of the consciousness, because the moment you go out, you are not there. You cannot go out. There is no possibility. And that is the biggest proof that if you cannot leave something, you are that. If you can never leave the consciousness or that whole big divine energy or energy, that means you are that.
Mhm.
If you would be separate from that, you would be able to see it from outside, but you cannot. You can just experience it. A fish can never see the sea. Fish can only experience it and can trust in it. It's the same. Yeah?
Thank you.
Good. Yes, Caroline.
Hello. For me, I would love to talk about the time because, like you just said, because I have the feeling I am like always like in between like the roots, the survival in my mind, and I am also sometimes in my consciousness because I'm taking the time and I'm still meditating. Like I do this, but it's kind of like my mind is just switch like is I feel like sometimes it's stronger or like I don't know, but like if it's I just see then it's just kind of associated. Like I sometimes I am in my consciousness, sometimes I am in my mind clearly, and so it's kind of like every time you feel I kind of like want to know. It's like every time I feel I am really in my mind. Like if I'm taking the time and I'm like slowing down and like meditative breathing, whatever, like then I'm gonna let this mind like I'm gonna give him like less importance, and I'm gonna go in my consciousness, and slowly I'm gonna like build and build. And I had the feeling this is my inner spiritual journey.
Yes.
This is okay. Okay, I
Yes.
understand
And
because I
you can make it many times in a day also.
yeah, okay. Because
You know?
but sometime when you are in survival or like I mean in your mind, you don't really like in your consciousness, you kind of like forget all of this. But like sometimes there's an event that's just kind of like, hey, what are you doing? You know it's not right. I mean, so yeah, okay. So like the time and like just I this is what I understand. So thank you. Time is the
Yes.
key. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah. And it's time to revise all your notes. It's been 4 years. You're also missing my energy, huh? Maybe come again to repeat.
To be honest, yes, I do. It's not 4 years. It's gonna be 3 years. So
3 years.
it's
4 years.
but
Three in
still,
3.5 years.
yeah,
Anyway.
yeah, yeah. So, but it's yeah. I still train, to be honest, and I have done like meditation class and everything. But you know what you were saying at first. You say like you want to be alone, and I stopped giving meditation class when I start to feel like really bad because I had so many pain, and I do a mistake there, I think, because that was the moment I was needed the most to continue and to do it.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, I understand now. So maybe I'm gonna start again.
Yes, there is a
Yeah.
trick. That's why I keep pushing everybody to just keep sharing. That is very important and remain a channel. When it is hard time for you, still remain a channel because that time when you are pure channel, it's not about your hard times. It's about just channeling that divine energy in the world for whomsoever in a very pure form. And that is the biggest healing for you or for the world at the same time. You know, that brings you back to your track faster.
Yeah.
Always keep sharing. Yeah?
Cool. Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry, wonderful. All right. Anybody has any question? All right. So, Andrea, uh, you also mentioned, guys, Andrea and Joseph, they were, for those who don't know, they were just, introduce yourself first to the Sangha.
Sure. So, yeah, basically took a year off to travel around the world. And as we were traveling, I realized that one of the things that I really wanted was a true life-changing experience. And Joseph was in alignment. Joseph is my husband. He was in alignment. And through that moment of awareness, we found Dev's 200 hours training. And so we just completed that. I can't believe it's been 2 months.
More. I think a little
That's
more.
crazy. And yeah, since then, we've basically dedicated a lot of our time, if not all of our time, to just kind of doing the practices. And then weird things start happening. And so I start asking questions to them.
Many questions keep on coming up.
But positive, weird. I guess not positive, weird, whatever. Yeah, just unique experiences. And so I reached out to Dev to ask many of those questions. And I'm just thankful he didn't think I was crazy or I was going crazy.
No, I did think that you are crazy because I love crazy people. I am also a crazy guy.
Yeah.
You don't remember what I was writing on the sideboard all the time? Be a little mad.
Yeah.
That
You
was the
told us
key.
to be responsibly crazy.
Responsibly irresponsible.
Yeah.
Which we have
Responsibly
been.
crazy.
Yeah, which we
We're
have
happy
been.
to report we have been.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And so, Joseph, how is it going with you?
It's going good. We've been again through the material. We've been meditating, exploring different topics. I have more of an existential question, but maybe I'll ask at a different time. But overall, really, really well. Having very interesting experiences as well.
Great. So both of these guys, and in fact many other people also from this batch, was are going through so many amazing experiences, and uh, it's like spiritual awakening of experiences. Why I'm calling that, because they are not to be understood by mind. They are just to be experienced and trusted, and to keep the trust in that, so that uh, the energy can reveal, as I just gave the example of how can you be the pure screen just by trusting the projector, and just by trusting whatever it is going to project upon you is actually to make use of your life in a most beautiful manner, because screen cannot decide what is being projected on us. But if a screen has an amazing unshakable trust on the projector, the screen will do the job perfectly, and then will wait till the time. It's more like a, what you can call, like a thriller movie. Who is the murderer? And in the end, it all will make sense. It all will be revealed to you, but you have to keep the patience, right? And trust the process. And that is the way to also remain a pure channel. That's what we have been talking all the time, right? So two things which you mentioned and I felt very happy about, rather than going into the detail line by line, which I read it all. It is all amazing. I'm very happy with whatever is happening with you guys. I feel so much of, I mean, I of course cried also. It was so beautiful for me to read through all your experiences. It is amazing. You also mentioned that you could laugh at yourself, and this is the best. Keep
Yeah.
your joy energy and your playfulness always active. That will always save you. Mind does not want you to remain playful. Mind wants you to withdraw. Actually, not mind, let's take mind just as a functionary. Ego does not want you to remain playful. Ego does not want you to remain in joy. Ego wants you to withdraw, even on the name of spirituality. Oh, now you have grown up, now you should just, be more calm, silence, don't get into these things. No, 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 no. Because then ego will again take over the mind, and ego will occupy your spiritual growth also. That is why I say keep sharing, remain playful, remain active, remain joyful, remain loving. Peace will automatically come. You already have peace. Don't worry about it. You don't need to chase peace. The problem with the meditators in the world is they keep chasing peace and peace keep running away and they leave or they do forget the main two basic energies, love and joy. And they keep ignoring it. But your inner state of joy, as you already learned in the training, is your absorption capacity or retaining capacity. You can retain the energy inside you only as much as you have your inner state of joy is the yardstick for that, is the sponge for that. Right? And even during all the mad, crazy processes you go through, if you can laugh at yourself, it's amazing.
Because you're laughing
And
at the ego. That's
sorry,
really, you're laughing at the ego. That's
exactly,
yes.
exactly.
And
You realize,
it shrinks because it knows that you know that it's weak.
yes, and it when it gets weak, it attacks more.
Yes, it tries to get bigger. And that's why I said that. And it does get bigger and it can be frightening. And the only thing that worked for me then was pure awareness and be like, all right, you want to scare me, but be completely alert and aware. And then it kind of was like a smoke. It just,
Yes, yes. So
yeah.
you have to remember that now there is no looking back. Now there is no going back because you know that road. You have been down there. Now you have already sat in a car where you are ready to take the pill, or you have taken the pill. Right. So now there is no going back. If it wants to scare you, if it wants to tell you, oh, this will happen, that will happen, how will you manage this, that, blah, blah, blah. What you're talking about? The screen and the projector relationship, nobody can change. Okay, this is the biggest relationship. What is your biggest relationship in the world is with you and universe, with you and divine. And if you don't love that relationship, if you don't trust that relationship, if you don't depend on that relationship, where else can you depend on or trust on? Right? So, laughing at it, laughing at yourself, and it is like this from all the time. Zen masters also have been saying that, and this is what also was my experience that when you reach to that point of self realization, the first thing you do is you laugh at yourself and just suddenly realize that such a fool you were the whole of this life. And then you remember those incidences when you tried to act very wise, very intelligent, and you laugh more strongly at yourself that that time you were actually a bigger fool when you were trying to act like as a more intelligent person or more knowledgeable person per se, or tried to fix everything according to your mind, creating more mess, while all that you needed is just to relax and take a step behind and look at it from a different perspective and let many things happen because they are just like a flow coming going. You don't need to do anything, just wait for some time and then something will come which is actually for you to take action on. And this is how it works in life, in a spiritual journey, in your own inner progression. Everything works like this. So when all the experiences happen, mind, ego project different things, just take a step back. Say hello. Let me enjoy the show. It's okay. Yeah? Amazing.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I feel like in that flow, at least I feel like you're tested so many times to see if you're really ready to receive or if it's going to be at a later time. And so far in my experience, it's been like when you have the disposition, even if you feel like you're taking a step back, if you are really ready, then the blessings come very soon after. If
Wonderful.
you, yeah.
Yes, of course, it happens. But what I'm feeling happy about that you guys are now speaking this language about the blessing, about the energy, all that thing, vis-a-vis the way your mind was functioning 3 months ago, and now it's such huge difference and so aligned, so aligned. Very
So you see the ego and the mind as two separate things. By ego mean the thing that shapeshifts and create fake realities, and the mind it's executioner or the
yes.
consciousness
The mind
execution.
is the common executioner, and it will execute the same thing. It will just execute the things either from the ego or from the consciousness.
Okay.
It's just the front end entity with a back end officer giving them the order. Even in my book, The Light, I have given you, you guys have got it. The fourth or fifth chapter is about this, the same thing. It's just a repetitive functionary. From where it gets the orders or how it is trained. It's a stupid AI with a very limited knowledge. It keeps repeating itself how it is trained. It will give you very glorified answers from its own training, but not the real solution. And that is how it happens. If you talk to even these AI tools for some real things, they just give you very glorified answers, but no real solution. That's how the mind is. And people get trapped in the glorified answers. You say, yeah, you're going through this now. Actually, you need to do some inner child healing, or maybe you need to go learn this, or maybe you need to go and do this amazing retreat with those plant-based medicines, or you need to turn vegan, or you need to start waking up at 4 a.m. and you need to just 10,000 things without any definite promising result or promised result. Who gives you a promised result? Only transformation. But none of these things talk about transformation. They talk about something, some activity. Yeah, good. So wonderful, guys. Thank you so much. You are amazing. Bring so much of joy to me. Thank you for that. Everybody in this Sangha is so amazing. And you guys don't really realize, but the way this Sangha is and each individual, the way you guys are on your own journey, the conscious journey, you don't really understand the power of it. We are contributing it back. We are contributing the light back to the source. And not because the source needs the light, but source needs to see the reflection. We are reflecting it back. We are contributing. This is our contribution. Our conscious living is our contribution to existence. There is no bigger contribution we can make. And there is no other contribution we can make actually. And this is so amazing. Yeah? Good. All right. Let's do a small meditation. And then so close your eyes. Just sit easy the way you are sitting. And now become aware of your being. Feel that how this being is. Let this question arise inside you that how my being is. Is it one alone or is it all, everything? Don't identify anything as you or anything else. No, don't name anything. Just take it as being. Whether you feel that this being is only this alone or this being is everything, everyone. Don't even now bother about it and just be with this beingness. Just be. Slowly feel the connection with your physical body. Become aware of your breath. Take 3 deep breaths. Move your fingers and toes. Place the hands together and rub them gently. Place them on your eyes and gently open your eyes. Rub the hands back on your face and on your body. Come back with a smile. Namaste. Everybody's okay? I see you next time. Keep meditating, keep living a conscious life. And our launching of our I Find Life website is little delayed, but within this month it should be there due to some technical things. But I'm gonna soon send you guys the coach registration form in that, and then you guys fill that. Okay, so you take care, and I see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Have a hug.
Thank you.